What's good, beautiful people? It is Tony and I am back for another video. And in this one, I want to talk about camera bags. In my creative journey, I have tried every type of bag imaginable. You know, going from something as big as a Pelican case to your shoulder bags, and now Camera Sling level of carrying my gear. So in the beginning, I basically had like a DSLR and a couple lenses, and you know, like those things are tanks, large lenses. And then I got into the mirrorless, you know, 24-70s, and those are some pretty large lenses. And then when you start carrying a bunch of primes, you need that kind of space. As my creative journey has evolved over time, my gear has gotten smaller and my lens choices have gotten smaller. So the necessity for a shoulder bag is not really there anymore. Unless I'm going like on a very long trip, then perhaps I'll carry a shoulder bag, but these days it's down to a sling. Whether it's like a 6 liter or 7 liter, those are my typical go-to bags. Whether it's a everyday carry or I'm going like on a short trip, those have been my go-tos. However, now as my summer is being stacked with trips and I am so excited to go on these trips, I have been looking for a 9 liter that would suit my needs, what I would want to pack with me without having to sacrifice putting anything in my luggage. So as I was scrolling on Instagram, an ad popped up from SAC on one of their 9 liter bags, which, you know, as we all know, the algorithm picks up. The phones are listening to us. I believe that to be true. But we're not here for conspiracy theories, right? We're talking about bags. I reached out to SAC and asked them if they'd be interested in doing a collaboration for one of their bags in exchange for a review. So this is not sponsored. However, they did send me the bag in exchange for the review. No money was exchanged, and I just needed to get that admin out of the way. They agreed. They sent me the bag, and I've been kind of testing it out, kind of seeing how I feel about it before I take it out on my trips. So one of the things that I like to do before I go on my trips is like to op test my bags or any equipment to make sure it's going to be suitable for what I need it to do. With that being said, let me show you the bag. This is the 9 liter sling bag from SAC. So let me give you a quick, you know, tour around the bag. All right, so let's talk about some of the features. What you'll see here is, you know, you have your front zipper, you know, where you can put like memory cards or, you know, cloths. And then, you know, you have the main compartment, which we'll get to in a minute. And at the bottom, you have your straps for, you know, your tripod or what have you. Very secure. And then you have your rear side, which has a little handle right here, or you can put it on your carry-on or your luggage, what have you. And then you have a back pocket. So the back pocket I would probably use for, like, you know, protecting my identity, essentially, you know, your passport, your wallet, and things like that. So the main compartment, which is, you know, the most important part for your gear, we'll get into the inside of this bag. And me, I have it laid out into, you know, 3 sections. So that way I can essentially put my gear in effectively in a way that it works for me, right? And also you have, you know, these 2 inserts where you could probably put like some filters or something like that. So for me, which I'll get into for the loadout, you know, I would have, you know, like my digital camera, my film camera, and then like my Nano, maybe a tripod for the Nano, and just like the little miscellaneous accessories that I need for my DJI camera and my extra Muse. So yeah, that's basically what that would look like. Also, one of the key features that I really like about this bag is the fact that it opens away from me. So like when I'm wearing it, I can open it and I can grab what I need. And I feel a little more secure, the fact that like this flap is opening away from me instead of towards me, because I can easily look where my stuff is and I can just reach for it and put it back without having to like feel like I'm reaching over it. So I really like that feature. Very spacious. It's pretty deep, especially for like my camera gear, because like it's rather smaller. I don't have to worry about, you know, like it being on the top and pressing against the top. So it feels a little more secure in there. You know, it's pretty deep, which I really appreciate. Overall, I really like this bag. I love the minimal design. One thing I forgot to mention is, you know, the strap. It has this rotating portion. and it moves with your body, which I do love, you know, because it kind of makes it feel like it flows easier when I'm shifting from it being on my back and then rotating it towards the front. Doesn't catch on to anything, you know, it kind of makes it a little more smoother to navigate around my body. Two things that I would love to see in like a second version of this bag would be like a pocket right here would be amazing, so I can like put, you know, memory cards or batteries, just kind of like just extra space, or maybe even like some film slots. Just something right here would be perfect, especially because it lays flat like this. And then if you don't have like large cameras that are like bulking out, which you probably won't, you know, this space right here won't, you know, it won't interrupt the flow or hit the top of your gear. So I think that would be really beneficial. Also, another aspect that I would love to see on this bag is maybe like one of those pockets right here with the elastic to put like our tripod or something. For me specifically, like if I had two pockets, one on each side, I can have like my extra muse sitting on the sides, and that way it's readily accessible and I can just pull it out, shoot some videos real quick and put it back, and then that'd be it. And then on the other side, you know, like another pocket so I can have put my bottle of water or something, and that would be fantastic. I think this would take this bag to the next level. So hopefully, you know, if SAC is interested in collaborating on a bag, you know, that would be amazing to create one, you know, the Tony Bello bag from SAC. That sounds kind of hot, not gonna lie. So if you hear me, let's make it happen. But overall, I think this bag is amazing. I really like the structure of the bag. The material is very sturdy. The insides are protected really well. So I feel like my cameras and my gear is gonna be well protected on the inside. The padding feels pretty solid. I love that the bottom is flat, so then that way I can put my bag down really quick if I need to. The bottom is secure. I don't have to worry about, you know, damaging any of my gear when I put it down. You know, I don't care what anybody says. I baby my gear because I like my gear to last me as long as I'm alive. So, or until I decide to sell it. You know, the resale value on well-kept gear is a lot higher than when it's beat up. So with that being said, this camera bag is solid. This is definitely going to be my go-to bag for my extended travels. Really appreciate it. Thank you to SAC for sending this over. You guys are amazing over there. So if you're interested in this bag or any other SAC products, check them out. Link is below. Hit them up. You get 10% with my discount, which I have in the description. Hope you all enjoyed this one, and I will catch you on the next video. Stay blessed. Peace.